It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. Step two, step. All right, all right. Welcome to Make News Great Again. It is our, I guess, love child of Comedy Trap House News. So, Make News Great Again. It looks like it sounds. We here will refer to it from now on as My Nigga News. So, welcome back, my niggas. What we want to start with is what is this? What is this, Hennessy? Why did we need multiple flavors of your hen dog? Now, mind you, I'm not upset and I'm also going to try this, but I also know that tropical flavor Incredible Hulk is going to be a problem, not just for me, but for the masses. Berry and Hypnotic, the Hypnotic has got to be excited because when was the last time you've seen somebody buy Hypnotic? It's been a while. But Hypnotic will be back off the shelves. This Hennessy Berry? What? Yes, that berry is going to have me barely functional by the end of a night. Yes, that's not me. I tried to get an AI generated photo, then it got weird, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone. Now, let's get on to what we actually do here at My Nigga, and let's get into another drunken stupor. This current administration has us in a chokehold, ladies and gentlemen. I would say the only way out of this is voting, but as you know, and as we all know, right at this very moment, voting is under attack. Now, the thing that's important to understand is this is probably now more important for everyone to get out and vote than it has been in any other time in history, because they are basically redistricting representation out left and right across the South. Now, I know you'll be like, Virginia won 10-1. Well, Virginia's Supreme Court shut that down. So, surprise? I mean, we're not surprised. We knew this is the type of thing that we're dealing with, but I didn't know it would happen this fast, right? And the thing is, MAGA politicians are keenly aware of one thing. If they can keep you from getting out, if they can lower the voting numbers, then they have an actual shot at this. And that's been historically true in the United States of America. Elections and midterm elections where people show up typically goes into the sides of the Democrats. Those when they're quiet and people aren't paying attention, goes to the side of the conservative. It's just, I don't know what it is. The people who are active in voting tend to keep showing up. But when it's something important and it gets the masses out, and because they know that, they're doing everything in their power at this very moment to stop those numbers from getting to the polls. Now, we know for a fact that the Supreme Court has just recently decided to kill this thing right here. This thing right, I got to get used to. It's been a while, guys. I got to get used to going this way, but looking at, anyway. So the Voters' Right Act was basically shot down by the Supreme Court in a 6-3 dissent. Surprise, 6-3, conservatives, and yeah. Anyway, with one of the speeches or one of the talk points of Clarence Thomas being, hey guys, racism is over. I used DEI and all the other benefits to get where I'm going, but now that it's over, we can get rid of them for everyone else. And then what happens is you get to these dangerous speakers like this Speaker of the House, Nathaniel what's his name? Because I'm Ledbetter. Oh, go figure. Someone need to be Ledbetter. Anyway, during one of the speeches, he said, man, wouldn't it be nice if we can overturn the 14th Amendment too? And now the 14th Amendment, if you look this way, I'm going to get it. I promise I'm going to get it. It's day one. Give me grace. Give me grace. And he came out defending, was like, no, I don't want to get rid of the 14th Amendment, guys. That's crazy. I want them to re-look at it, kind of, because of what they did for redistricting here. And one of the things is, yes, the 14th requires due process, but it also says, no matter what state you're in, your rights should not be upended. Now, why is that important? Because a place, if we look at the South in general, a lot of places where the representation of black and brown people are being redistricted out, the 14th Amendment came through and was like, hey, you can't really do that, you guys. So they want to get rid of that so they can relook at other districts that are predominantly black, brown, or whatever, and turn those over. So yeah, when you get dangerous things like this being said, you risk other things. Like, this is Tennessee. That little blue, Memphis. Memphis is blackness. And what they want to do is get rid of the blackness. Why? Why would they be so hard to do this? And it's been said multiple times. If they don't win the House, if they don't win the Senate, and it goes the other way, they know Donald Trump will be impeached. It's not a question, because he's a criminal. And he's done criminal things all throughout the campaign. He's done criminal things since he's gotten into office. He had criminal things happen the last time he left office and came back in. The man's a criminal, right? An actual felon. But to solve his problems, he said, hey, I'm going to sue the federal government. And I'm going to sue the IRS and the DOJ. And then they came to this settlement, of course, where 1.776 billion, yeah, the 1776, yeah. Think about that. The 1.776 billion is for those who were persecuted by the DOJ for political whatever, right? Now, you can argue, sir, you being sued for a civil case about rape and misconduct and bankruptcy and rejecting people from moving into your buildings and all the other things that you actually went to court for is not a Department of Justice thing. It's a you problem. But let's get beyond that, because we know it's not a you problem. What we've gotten is these guys. So we know that Donald Trump is trying to take care of himself and his political allies. But now the question for this slush fund has come up as to the January 6th people. Remember that illegal thing I said he did when he left the office, when he incited a riot to actually storm the Capitol? These are the people who were actually dumb enough to do it. Now, those people were tried and convicted. Now they're all pardoned. Good job, President of the United States. Now, these people are now being able, the question has been, are these people going to be able to politically claim that they've been prosecuted by the DOJ and or picked on or politicized and had the DOJ sought after them, and that they become part of this slush fund? And the thing is, no, we have video. We have footage. Still got to get this to the left. I looked over to the left. So we know what we see. Believe your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. But because this is such an obvious thing, I wonder if this one is just as obvious. And no, it won't be Robert Mueller himself who will be able to enjoy this funds, but his family. They should see, since this $1.776 billion fund exists, shouldn't he qualify? Shouldn't he qualify? But no. What we get is we get a man who's taken advantage of a system and has incited the hate of this country to an all-time high. I mean, let's be honest. America wasn't the beacon of peace ever, right? Like, we can go back through to Japanese internment camps. The transatlantic slave trade and slavery is the easiest thing, but we can go back to internment camps. We can go back through the problems that they had with Jews. I know they were anti-Semitic at one point. Crazy. But then we get things like this. And this story is actually devastating and heartbreaking. We have Juliana Zeta, and she ended up missing. And she ended up missing for about a week, maybe a little bit more than a week. Hold on, I have the actual dates, guys. She went missing on April 28th, and her body was discovered May 8th. Now, mind you, this is a massive search. They've been looking around and everything, and they found her. And they found her apparently hanging from a tree. Now, the investigation is ongoing, so I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm just going to say it seems like a very unlikely method for someone of black skin to eliminate themselves. And I'm not saying that it's not possible. It is more than possible. We're going to let this investigation pan and say, oh, wait, I lied. The investigation was panned out and they said it was a suicide. They said it was a suicide. Just like Delta State student DeMar Travion, let me get his last name right, DeMar Travion Reed, who was also found hung from a tree, and apparently it was suicide also. Case is closed. Investigation's over. That's what it is. But I think it's very, very, very interesting that in this climate in the United States, when we're dealing with heightened racism, we're dealing with immediate attacks on things like DEI, which again means diversity, equity, and inclusion. I mean, have it said any other way, you would hear anti-white, but a lot of the laws and things put in this country, and I heard this isn't me, but comes from the fact that white men didn't know how to behave. So you weren't hiring black people, brown people, or women at all. So we needed legislature to do that. You weren't letting kids get their education. We needed legislation to do that. All the legislation that you believe is pointed at you as a pick was because you didn't know how to behave to begin with. The Voters' Right Act, one of those. It's one of those. We needed that because you wouldn't let us go vote. And I say us because I am a black man. So the things that you clamor about and you're upset about and ticked off about, it's your doing. It's a response to you. The world looked back, the states, the federal government looked back and said, this doesn't make sense. We must be better. We must be a little bit better. But when you get victims like this and like Juliana without any investigation because you want to close the case early, I have questions, right? And here's the thing about black people and nooses. It's not something we typically do, but I do have a memory, and a very firm one, of the last time I remember a noose being in play. It's the last noose I remember. Anyway, welcome back to My Nigga News. We'll be back weekly. We're going to get into what we got to get into. Again, this is our first time, so we're getting the legs back under us. Eventually, we may go live again and do all the things that we need to do. But again, my nigga.